Hello everyone, I'm Bill Glazer and welcome to this edition of No BS Live. On today's episode, we're going to keep things short. We've got a great marketing example that brings a part of Hawaii right here to the set of No BS Live TV in Baltimore, Maryland, and a question from a gold member in Ohio. So I'm a coffee drinker and I've always got a cup in hand, especially if I have to film something. I always try to keep it off camera, but it made it into a couple of videos and a few episodes of No BS Live, but who cares? Well, apparently someone does. That someone being gold member Stacy Riska from Washington, D.C. Stacy saw that I was drinking a cup of convenience store coffee in a previous episode, and she was appalled. She was so appalled that she sent me this great shock and awe package in the mail, this thing right here, about her company, Maui Wowie Hawaii Coffee and Smoothies. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this thing, okay? First of all, it came addressed right to me, and it came to Bill Big Kahuna Glazer, okay? And on the outside, it said, handle with care, a piece of Hawaii enclosed. And when you open it up, there was actually coffee inside that you could just smell it. It was just sort of grabbed you and actually right now, it smells pretty good right now. And it was also full with all kinds of other grabbers. There was this clear cup here with you open it up and there's this lei inside that was in there, and there was this little umbrella thingamajiggy thing and all that other stuff in there. So again, it grabs your attention. And it had a letter that came in here to Bill Big Kahuna Glazer that was all personalized to me. And you know how much I love personalized mail, and used all the copy doodles that were on here and all kinds of cool stuff to, again, grab your attention, you know. And it was just terrific letter that was spoke readily to me with a great story, and it had a deadline for a free offer. Then she went a step further, and she actually created a personalized order form to Bill, let me say that one more time. It's hard to say this. Bill Kahuna Glazer personal order form. You try saying that 3 times real fast, you'll stumble with that also. But what's cool about this? Well, if you go to just about any coffee shop, they don't do this kind of marketing. Stacy did Glazer-Kennedy marketing to grab attention. Who else is going to send something out like this to people and to prospects? And you know what? Not only did I love it so much and make a cup of coffee, and it's delicious, by the way. It's actually a lot better than the convenience store coffee. Thank you, Stacy, for reminding me of that. But we actually hired Stacy's company to come here today and do a smoothie party for all of our employees here at Glazer-Kennedy. So she got our attention, and we went ahead and hired her. And the next time in Washington, I'm going to stop in her coffee place, meet her personally, and actually have a cup of coffee with her. So great job, and it goes to show you how you can take a mundane business, like coffee shop, and make it extraordinary by using Glazer-Kennedy marketing. So now it's time for Ask Bill. That's me. Today we have a question from Glazer-Kennedy Silver Member Ted Leehart. Ted, I hope I pronounced your name right. And Ted asks, I'm developing an info marketing product for a niche market. My difficulty is pricing. I don't want to price myself so high that a single location business owner in this niche cannot afford the program. And I don't want to be too low so that the multiple location business owner pays a very small amount unit monthly to receive the information. Is there a way to price these packages to attract both markets? Well, Ted, it's actually a very, very good question, and there's a couple things that you want to consider when you're thinking about your pricing in terms of how you price your products. And there's a couple of things that I would do, okay? And it's not a simple answer to just do one thing. You really need to do a couple things. First of all, you need to look at what the transaction size is that these people that you're marketing to, what they enjoy when they sell their products and services. The bigger their transaction size, the easier it is for you to substantiate higher price resources that you sell to them. And you want to use that information in your marketing to them. For example, If somebody has a transaction size, let's say $5,000 they make every time they sell something, and I know that's a high one, but let's just use that as an example. Well, it's really easy to say that if you invest in my resource, that's $1,997, and all you have to do is make one more lousy stinking sale. This will pay for itself from the very first sale. So you see, transaction size makes a big difference. That's number one. Number two is, I like when you go into a new market, I always like to survey them and ask the market questions about what kinds of things they want in terms of to help them, which also helps you to create the resource that you make for them. But in your questioning, you can actually, if you do it cleverly enough, you can see how much interest there would be in your resource, and also how much it would be worth it to them to have this resource, which gives you a lot of direction in your pricing. The next thing I'll just tell you is, in terms of the multi-unit versus the single unit. Now again, you didn't reveal what you're selling and who you're selling it to, so I'm just doing this blind right now. However, if you can figure out a strategy within your resource that they need certain part of your resources for every one of the locations. So let's say there's a training manual for the locations, every location. Now what you can do is you can actually sell the resource for a fixed price, and then for every additional part of this, manual, DVDs, CDs, whatever, for each of the locations, there's an additional fee for each of those. And that's one of the best ways to try to charge in order to how many different places that they actually have. So there you have. You have three different strategies that you want to think about. Is average transaction size, which will dictate to you how much you can sell it for, survey them, and then the last one is try to figure out a way that you can create a product that there is something that they need for every one of the other locations. One last thing I will tell you before we end this question is, I believe whenever you're going into a new market, you always are looking for beta testers. So pick out 3 to 6 different people in the market that you can actually give your resource to beta test it before you actually sell it to people in the marketplace. And you'll get a tremendous amount of feedback from them before you actually do sell it, because you might have a fatal flaw in your product or right now that you got to fix before you actually go out and sell it to the entire world. Okay, so Ted, thanks for your question. And let's see what our No BS Resource Center has for you this week, because you submitted a great question. So Jessica, tell everybody what Ted won and what everybody else can get in this week's web deal.
Jessica here, bringing you this week's Beat the Clock web deal. In 8 Big Ideas, Dan presents the most powerful breakthrough strategies that his clients and our top members use repeatedly, not just to rev up sales and profits in every imaginable kind of business, but to speed up their personal implementation of such strategies. Here are just a few of the gems Dan covers. How to uncover or discover the unintentional second business opportunity concealed within your present business, the embarrassing renegade millionaire strategy that really separates little leaguers from big leaguers, and many more. Beat the clock and invest in 8 Big Ideas for 50% off, but only until Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. And if you're a GKIC Gold member or above, you'll also receive free shipping. Check the banner for more details.
And if you would like to win our web deal of the week, all you have to do is submit your marketing question, and it will be answered maybe on No BS Live TV. So we pick the best questions and we answer them here right on No BS Live TV. And if your question is picked, you'll win that week's web deal. And you can do it a couple of different ways, but one of the things you can do is call the No BS Ask Bill hotline at the number on the screen, or leave your question below in the comments section. Well, that's it for today's show, everyone. Don't forget to check the sidebar for this week's free gift. I'm Bill Glazer, and this is No BS Live TV. Stick around for a preview of Friday's new episode. We're going to be talking about, once again, about direct mail. And I love direct mail so much for the simple fact that it's a tried and true method of getting a message into the hands of almost everyone with a street address.